At abcspeakingskills.com, we have a really broad community of people here. I've got people from literally all over the world who are interested in the project, and that makes me tremendously happy. I'm so pleased that the power of the internet allows me to reach so many people in so many diverse communities. Now, that makes me realize that not everybody speaks English as their first language, and indeed many of the visitors come from a community that speaks English as a second or third or maybe even fourth or more language. So I'd like to touch on what can non-native speakers do to help their specific presentation and communication public speaking skills. I think the most important piece of advice I can give you, is to say, don't worry too much about having a non-native English accent. It's perfectly okay that you speak English with an accent, and English people don't think any worse of you, or English speaking people don't think any worse of you because you bring an accent there. Of course, you have your own nuances and perhaps colloquialisms that will be appropriate in your own environment that international people won't understand, even though you're still speaking English. But the fact that you have an accent and you're from a foreign country, different country, doesn't really matter, because it's the content of what you say. It's about being understood that matters most. So if you're talking to me about a subject I'm interested in and you're saying it in an understandable way, then your accent can actually work to your advantage, because I might well think it's a very charming thing to have. It adds character to you. One of the fundamental parts of public speaking is coming across naturally. It's all about you. So that accent that you have, that you think, oh, it makes me sound a little bit strange maybe to these native English speakers, not at all. It can really work to your advantage. It's part of you, and we don't mind a bit. So don't be embarrassed about having an accent. When you speak English, try to make the words you use as clear as possible. We do that by slowing the pace down anyway. So that's a piece of advice that's appropriate for native English speakers too. But if you come from a community that perhaps speaks naturally quickly, you might need to pay extra special attention to this. I love to listen to Spanish, and I think it's a fascinating language. I notice as a non-Spanish speaker how quickly Spanish people express themselves, and it's lovely to hear. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. If you spoke at that speed in an English presentation, it might be a bit too quick, even for native English speakers. So try to look at the style of your own language and assess whether it's particularly fast. And if it is, don't worry about slowing down your pace of delivery. In public speaking, slowing down is generally a good thing. But if you're a non-native English speaker who has a particularly speedy, natural cadence in their own language, try to pay extra special attention to slowing down your delivery.